Good morning, everybody. I'm glad that you're all able to join me today. I thought I was situated, but I need to grab something here. Okay, as you probably noticed, I've changed my name from Creating with Debbie to Creating Cards with Debbie. I hope that doesn't confuse everybody. It should automatically take you to the right page when you click on the old Facebook page. So if you have any problems, be sure that you let me know and I'll guide you through it and we'll get it straightened out. Let me go ahead and bring up my laptop, or my iPad I should say. I need to delete my sound because I don't want to hear myself. And let me see if I can find me. Alright, and like I always say, be sure that you comment when you come on so I know that you're here and I can acknowledge you. If you're not from Arkansas, please let us know where you are so we can kind of see where everybody's coming from. I will be posting this to YouTube later today too, so for those who don't care to watch it on Facebook, they can switch over and watch it on YouTube. And I'm just going to give a moment here for everybody to get on board here. I've got a new phone that I'm using today, so I'm hoping that we don't have any problems, that everything goes smoothly. We're going to be doing 3 cards, and I'm using the Artistically inked stamp set. What are the other ones here? Try not to make too much noise. And then the Hand-Penned Petals and Sunny Sentiments are the stamp sets that we're using. Plus we'll be throwing in some dies there that will add to the cards. So, let me see if I've got any news. Let's go ahead and turn you down here. Sorry to make you dizzy. I'm going to go the other opposite way to keep the cord out of the way as much as possible. And rotate you can't turn. Uh-oh. Alright. I had a message there that was weird. I guess it was trying to catch up to me or something. Okay. It's wanting me to rotate my phone. Huh. Well, it's looking good there. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit. Scooch over just a tiny bit here. Well, hold on, it's wanting me to rotate my phone, so I'm thinking I need to turn the phone around. It's being temperamental. Well, I did. Now we've got a weird shadow going on here. I'm doing some pixelating. We may have to edit this photo afterwards. Well, it's not pixelating on my phone itself, but it's pixelating on my iPad. I'm just going to wait and see if it goes away or if I need to restart again. I don't know. may clear it. Oh, you're from Pennsylvania, Becky? Hi, glad you're joining us. I'm just waiting for my phone to catch up here because we had some pixelating going on, so I'm hoping that it clears up. And that looks pretty good, I think. I think we may be okay. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm glad to meet you. Glad you could join us. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm creating cards with Debbie. And you can reach me at my email, which is creatingwithdebbie179@gmail.com, and shop in my store with any products for Stampin' Up, and that's www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And my blog address is www.creatingwithdebbie179.blogspot.com, and you can go on there to get all the measurements from all the cards that I make. And if you'd like to sign up for Paper Pumpkin, here's the link for that. I'm hoping that you can see that okay. Okay, like I said, my name is Debbie Foster. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas. We're probably about 20 miles south of Hot Springs, so if you look on the map, that's probably easier to find than what Bismarck is, because Bismarck is a small community. I want to welcome you to our live today. We're going to be doing 3 cards. Okay, so starting July 1st through August 2nd, Stampin' Up! Is doing a designer series paper sale, which is you'll have a 15% discount on selected items here. And we've got the Beauty of the Earth, Bloom Where You're Planted, Hand-Penned, In Good Taste, In the Wild, Pansy Petals, Sweet Symmetry, Tidings of Christmas, and You're a Peach. So you want to get on that. 15% savings is pretty good. On all of them, they're $9.78 with the sale. But the In Good Taste is a regular $21 for that pack, and that's marked down to $17.58. Now this only runs until August 2nd, so you've got a month to take advantage of that. And then Paper Pumpkin for July. Oops, I got paper stuck together here. It's called The Adventure Begins. And you've got until June 11th to sign up for that. And that'll be, well, it started June 11th and you got till July 10th. It's hard to believe that we're coming up on July already. I'm still talking about June. Okay, Paper Pumpkin. If you're not familiar with that Paper Pumpkin, it's a all-inclusive kit that you get once a month, and it's a subscription. You can subscribe and just do month to month, and you can cancel at any time. But it contains everything that you're going to need to make usually between 9 and 12 cards usually it comes with. And the first box that you get, you'll receive acrylic block with it, and it'll have a small ink spot in it of the color that it chooses for that month. So the only thing you're going to need to furnish would be your scissors and maybe a liquid adhesive. Otherwise everything comes with it. But this month's box is Life is Full of Big Adventures That Are Best Experienced Together. This month, the Adventure Begins Paper Pumpkin Kit helps you celebrate those exciting new chapters in the most creative of ways, with enough supplies to create 12 motivating cards plus coordinating envelopes, all featuring the exciting colors of nature. Like the still moments before a great adventure, the kit's designs contain a quiet energy that hint at all the grand possibilities of what is yet to come. And you can share this kit with your family and friends that are about to embark on a new journey and make connections while you explore and discover new levels of creativity. So I'm kind of anxious to see what it has in it. It looks like it might kind of go towards camping a little bit, or any kind of outsidesy things, I guess. And if you shop in my store for July, the new July host code is WE9TXMXY. And please use that code if your order is under $150. If it's over $150, you don't want to use that because you'll get the stamp and rewards for yourself. So you can find that also in the description of this video, so if you didn't get it wrote down. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll get started. We're going to start out with this card here. I'm used to turning them back the other way. My camera is a little bit different on this phone. So that's good because everything will be right side up when we're working on it, so you can see, and I won't have to turn the card around like I had done previously. So here's our first card. We're going to be using the Artistically inked stamp set, and along with the artistic dies. And this is in the catalog, and you can get it as a bundle, which you'll save 10%. Oops, and I'm still doing the wrong way here. Okay. So you can save 10% if you get it, buy it as a bundle. Or you can buy it separately if you didn't want both the bundles. But it's a lot of cute dies in here. It's even got a long leaf die, which, well, I did have it over here. I guess I moved it. I guess I put it away. And we're going to use just this die on the next card. It's just cuts out the flower. So let's go ahead and we'll get started with that. Oh, and here's the inside of the card. Let me go ahead and show that. It says hello on the outside, and then the inside it says happy birthday. And I've used one of those smudge stamps, which is this one right here, which is kind of interesting. Oops, and I'm still showing upside down. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with that. We're going to start out, we're using our basic white heavy cardstock, and this measures 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and we've scored it in the center at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to burnish the edge of that. Make sure it's straight here. Okay, and then we'll set that aside. Let me get my instructions so I know what I'm talking about here. I got a little cheat notes here. Okay, and then we've got our pale papaya cardstock, and this measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then another basic white, which is the regular cardstock, which measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And our inks are going to be pale papaya, polished pink, soft succulents, and early espresso. So these are the inks that we're using. And I need a little scratch paper here to stamp on so I don't mess up my surface here. Let's use this. So Becky, tell me a little bit about you. Have you been making cards very long, or are you a newbie, or so I kind of get an idea of how extensive I should show the videos. Okay. So I've already mounted our one stamp here, the smudge. I'm not sure what you call it, just a smudge stamp. And I'm going to use the pale papaya, and we're going to stamp our pale papaya mat here a little bit to give it a little color around the edges. And I'm just going to go around the edges because that's about all it's going to show on this. I hope my lighting's okay here. I didn't adjust my lights at all. Okay, and we're just going to leave it just like that. And, oh, great, I didn't. That's okay. I was just talking to myself there. I thought I messed up, but I'm okay. Alright, I've already die cut and stamped all of our flowers and such, so we don't have to do all the cutting today on this one. On one of our next ones, we're going to be using the Stampin' and Emboss, or Cutting and Emboss machine, so I'll show you how we use that if you're new to that. So I've already cut these out. I stamped them and then I cut them out. We've got 3 flowers of these, and then we've got this one in the pale papaya, and then our little leaves are done in the soft succulent. So we're going to go ahead and start attaching all those. First we're going to put down our white mat on top of that. We're just going to use our liquid glue. I'm sorry I had to change my time from Monday to today. I had an appointment that I couldn't change, so then I had to change my Facebook Live. But I usually always do on Monday mornings at 11 o'clock Central Time. So if you're able, I'd love to have you come join me. Alright, then we're going to be using our pale papaya open weave ribbon. And this is what our new colors, our in colors. And it's real pretty and it's real easy to tie bows with and such. And I'm going to just cut off a piece because we're going to wrap it around the edge here. Get my snips, and we'll trim that down. Okay, I thought my iPad did something strange there. I thought I'd seen a flash of light or something, but we're okay. And I'm just going to use little pieces of Scotch tape to attach this to the back side of our mat. And let me turn it over to make sure I'm straight. Okay, and now we're going to take our flowers and start attaching them. I'm just going to kind of lay them here to see how I want to do them. Maybe something like that. And then I want to put a couple of the pink flowers underneath it. And we're going to put that one up on a dimensional, so somewhat like that. So we're going to start gluing. I'm going to start with the big flower and glue that first, so then I know where to put the other ones at. Okay, but before we do that, we need to use the little spots, and we're going to use the Early Espresso ink. So we're just going to come in and we're going to just randomly place those down. And I kind of turn my stamp every so often to get a little bit of different view of while they're placed down. And I maybe should have done this before I attached that other flower, but we're going to be okay. We've got a pretty day here in Arkansas today. It's going to be pretty warm. We're in the 90s. And so that old heat index is doing its thing out there, so everybody needs to be careful today out in that heat, especially if you have to work out in it. And we put a few more over here. Okay, there we go with that. Alright, so we can set our early espresso ink. We can get our hello and we can stamp that down in the corner. Oh, and I should put one there. Let me see if I can get it to cover over the spots. Yeah, that's good. So there's the hello. Now we can close up our ink. And then we're going to finish placing our flowers down. Get our glue back over here. And we're going to place this one like so. And this one. And it doesn't matter if you have a little gap in between there, because we're going to use putting our leaves down there. So I've got one of the larger two leaves together that we stamped and die cut using the dies. And we're going to place that leaf right over here. And then we're going to fill in with our smaller leaves. And I'm going to place one there. And I've got 7 small leaves cut out, so I always do things in odd numbers. Okay. And I'm going to place that one right there, kind of over the top of that other flower. And well, I didn't use those on my other cards, so maybe I won't use them. Let me go ahead and put this one up on dimensionals. And I'm just going to put 2 on the back side. And then I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to pop those backings off the dimensionals. It works best when you don't have any fingernails. And the trash can over here. We'll have to throw things on the floor. Okay, so now we're going to place this. I think I'm going to place this one right there. Okay, and then we can put some more leaves in here. We had a little smudge there, so that's going to cover that up. And I think I'll put another one, maybe right there. And this one I'm going to place in the center of our big flower. Now these are all stamped and then die cut out of the paper using the dies that come with this. So everything I'm using, it has a die for. So there we go. And I'm going to get my bow jig, and I'm going to make a bow to place on there. I'm not needing a very big one, so we're going to keep it smaller. And let's see if this cooperates with me. Usually when I'm doing a lime, seems like I'm all fingers or something, all thumbs. Well, need to make this a little longer. I can't get a hold of the end of it. Okay, and now we're going to tie that off. And get our snips and snip that off. Set our ribbon aside. Let me put this away. Alright, so there we have our little bow. And we're going to place that with the glue dot, which are, where did I put them? I just had them a moment ago. Okay, I'm hiding underneath my papers here. The new glue dots that we've received are backwards. They used to be on the top sides where it made it easier to get them, but now they put them on the inside, so you have to unwrap the paper to get to them. I'm thinking it's kind of awkward. I hope they switch back to the way they were originally. I think they've been getting a lot of feedback about it, so hopefully. So we're going to place this, roll this glue dot up in a circle, in a ball, and then we're going to attach our little bow on top of that. So, like so. And now we can put this onto our card front. And I just put a thin line all the way around. You don't want to put a lot of glue, otherwise you're going to be oozing out of the edges, so just a fine line is good. And we're going to leave a small border going around. Alright, I thought I had some gems here. Yeah, we're going to be using the 2021 to 2023 in color jewels. And I think we're going to use, let's see, I used the papaya. I think I'm going to go with the papaya again. And I'm going to take my tool here, and I'm going to use the putty end to get the jewels off of the paper. And I'm going to do 3. I always do them in odd numbers. Hardest part is deciding where to put them. Maybe one right there. Okay. Alright, move my things away here. And now we're going to do the inside. And I'm going to use the pale papaya and the polished pink ink. So I think I'm going to do the papaya first. And we're just going to make sure I've got the inside of my card. I'm just going to put a blob at the top. And then we're going to use our Simply Chamois. We're going to clean our stamp off and come back in with the polished pink. If you don't have the Simply Chamois, you can find it in the catalog. It works wonderfully to clean your stamps off with. All it is you wet it with water, and then when it dries out after a few days, then you can come back in and just rinse it under your faucet in the kitchen, or your craft room, whichever. Just run it underwater until the water kind of runs clear. So they do stain a bit, but that's nothing wrong with that. Oh no, Amber, is it frozen? Are you still froze? I hope not. It's looking good on my side. Let me know if you're still froze. I'll hide that. I'm going to wait for you to comment back on that, so I'm going to go ahead and clean my stamp again. Is anybody else frozen? Glad you could join, Amber. Hope you're doing well. I'm just going to give it a second here to see if everything's okay. It's looking good on my side, so, yeah. Maybe it is frozen. No, I'm good. I just had a delay there. Huh. So I'm going to close my stamp pads up. Okay, let me know if we're frozen yet. If it's keeps continuing, I might have to restart. I know we had problems last week, different issues going on, so I'm hoping we don't have this a repeat today. So now I'm going to take the happy birthday sentiment, and we're going to ink that up. Oh no, Amber, I'm sorry. Maybe if you log out and come back. Becky, if you're still here, could you tell me if you're frozen? You're good? Okay, so maybe Amber, it's on your side. I'd suggest that you log out and then come back in again. It might be just on your side. Okay, so I'm taking the early espresso ink and I'm going to ink up the happy birthday sentiment. Okay, good, Becky. Yeah, it might be just Amber that's having problems. So we're going to stamp this right in the center of our two blotches there. Happy birthday. And I use the early espresso ink. Okay, so there we have our first card. You could also add some Wink of Stella to your flowers. It kind of gives them a little shine. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. But I'm just going to do the pale papaya one, the larger flower. I don't know, gives that a little sparkle. I'm not sure if you can see it. I guess you can, kind of. Okay, so that's our first card for today. Our second card is this one here. And I used the dies that were in the Artistic dies. And I'll show you which die we used. Yeah, we just used this die. It's real intricate, as you can see. Very, very pretty. And then we just used the Hello stamp out of the Artistically inked stamp set. So I'm going to set those aside for now, and I need to clean my Hello stamp. Right, and I'll get my instructions out here. And then we use the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. Oops, I'm still wanting to turn things around like that. That's an extra piece of paper there, maybe. Yes, I did emboss that, didn't I? Yes, I already embossed it. So, clean my area a little bit here. Sorry for the crinkling. I put things in plastic bags and it kind of crinkles sometimes. Alright, so we're going to start out. I'll put that aside first. And we're using the Blushing Bride cardstock. And this measures, oops, got my innards in there. This measures 11 inches by 4 1/4 inches. And then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. So we're just going to fold that and we're going to burnish that. Oops, piece of tape here. Where'd that come from? And then I've got a piece of white cardstock that goes in the inside, and that measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And then a little strip of the same cardstock, the Blushing Bride cardstock, which is I believe it's a 1/2 inch. Oops. Yes, 1/2 inch by 4 inches. No, 5 inches. And that's just going to go at the bottom, and then we'll trim off the excess. But we'll go ahead and we'll put that inside of our card for now. We're going to work on the outside. So the outside is a piece of white cardstock, which measures 3 7/8 inch by 5 1/8 inches. And then we embossed the Pretty Flowers, the Blushing Bride paper. And this is what it looks like after it's embossed. And both sides are pretty, so I'm not sure the debossed and the embossed, but I think I'm going to go with the embossed part. And we're going to just glue that onto our white mat. And it's just a tiny, tiny border going around it. So we'll bring in our glue. Okay, be sure you comment, like and share the video. And if you're not in Arkansas, let me know where you're from. We've got Pennsylvania in the house. And anybody else, let me know if you're out of state. It's kind of fun to know where everybody is. So we're going to leave a tiny, tiny border going around. And I want to let everybody know that I won't be live next Monday. We're going to be on vacation for the week, so I won't be back until the following week. So I just want to let everybody know, give you a heads up. Yeah, it's hard to believe that 4th of July is already upon us. So we're going to be going the day after the 4th of July. We're going to do some camping. So now we've got some ribbon, which is, did I have it out here? Gosh, which ribbon is this? I don't even have it out here. Let me find it in the book. I'll let you know which one it is. Thin and trim. I'm thinking this is one that's retiring. Oh, and that just reminded me of something I got to tell you all about too. Let me see. Yes, I believe it is one that's retiring. Our mini catalog, our January to June 2021 catalog, is retiring, and today is the very last day that you can order out of that. So if there's anything that you're missing that you hadn't done yet, be sure you put your order in today before it's no longer available. Let me look up this ribbon real fast so I can tell you which one it is. Yeah, it's the Blushing Bride metallic ribbon on page 86. So that's also retiring, so I just couldn't remember the name of it. But we have a brand new mini catalog and another celebration coming. It'll be August 2nd, I believe it starts. So I'm really excited about that. And if you don't have a demonstrator in your area that you work with, I'd be glad to be your demonstrator, and I'd gladly mail you out a catalog if you don't have. So let me know. You can private message me, and I'll get all the details and get one sent out to you. So I've already put in my mail order for the new catalogs, but I can, when I get my case of them, then I can send them out to you. So let me know. Okay, I'm putting these, I got 2 strips of ribbon, and these measure 7 inches each. So I've got 2. I'm going to put them side by side. I'm just going to tape them to the back side to glue them down. I'm using Scotch tape. And I'm just making sure that I'm getting them. I'm just leaving a small space in between each one and making sure that they're straight. That's kind of one of my trademarks, is I'm known to not have things straight. Just, I don't know. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue that down to the front of our card base. And might want to put a little extra glue where the ribbons are attached, just to make sure that it stays, that it glues down to the front of your card. Okay. Okay. Make sure I got my card going the right direction. I don't put it upside down. I've been known to do that too. Anybody else done that before? Okay, get that straight as can be. And press it down. Alright, and now we're going to take our die cut flower, and we're going to, oops, I'm going to spill my water all over. Just a moment here. I knew I was going to do that. I shouldn't have set my water on my desk. Time out. I've got my laptop sitting there, so I need to make sure I get the water wiped up, that they don't get wet. And we'll move the glass away. Get it out of range. So what are y'all drinking this morning? I just have ice water. I've already finished my coffee this morning. But I should have left the water somewhere else, not here where I could slam my arm against it. Okay. Kind of looking at my mat because the cats have been up on my desk. I've got a few cat hairs up there. Okay, so we're going to take our silicone mat, and we're going to use that to glue with. And then I've got a corner of a sponge that I just put a clip over it to hold it. And then I just keep it in a tight container. But we're just going to put a little glue on our silicone mat. Got a glob of glue there I need to clean off. Anybody got plans for the 4th of July holiday? We don't have any special ones. I guess maybe we might grill or something, but other than that, maybe, I don't know if we're even going to go watch fireworks at all. We haven't really talked about it yet. We'll have to see what happens, I guess. So we're just going to dab the glue with the sponge onto the back of our flower. And move our silicone mat away. And now we're just going to place that on top of our card front. And I think I'm going to go this direction. And okay, just press on it to make sure it's stuck. And okay. And now we're going to take a scrap of basic white. We're going to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to use the hello, and I'm going to use what color do I want to use? Blushing Bride, which I don't have out here. Let me find that. I'm using one of my old stamp cases, but they still work. And I'm just going to stamp our hello. Let's see if I get that straight. Not too bad. I'll take it. I probably can't get much better. And then we're going to take our snips and we're going to cut this off. And we're going to trim this side, and then we're going to flag it a little bit. What that is, we just cut a notch down the middle and then cut up each side to meet in the middle. And just like that. And then we're just going to glue that down to our corner of our card front. And I'm just going to butt it right up against the white edge of that white mat that's underneath there. And then I need to put a little bit of bling on here. So I'm going to get out my goodies here. And I think I'm going to use the gold gilded gems. I think that was a little wet from the water. It felt like it was. Okay. And now we're going to take your pick tool, and we're going to get 3 of those gems and stick on the front of our card. I'm going to use the larger ones, and I think I'll put it up in the corner here. We'll put 2 of those. I'm going to use all of the big ones. I guess they're the medium size. They're not the largest. There's 3 different sizes. There's a larger, a medium, and then a small. But we're going to use the medium-sized ones. And I think I'll put that right here. Alright, and for the inside, we're going to stamp on our card thing first. And like I said, this is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. Yeah. Just making sure. Yep. 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to stamp on the inside. We're going to stamp the happy birthday, which I'm going to clean that up again. And we're going to use, what color did I use? I'm going to use the Pale Papaya, or the Blushing Bride again, pink, and stamp our sentiment, happy birthday. And I'm going to take this little strip of Blushing Bride, I'm going to attach it to the bottom, just kind of add a little bit of a decoration. Let me put my glue on the card base itself. Only because I'm going to cut off quite a bit of the ends of this, so I don't want to glue all my scissors. And turn it over and snip the ends of that off. Alright. And now we can glue it to the inside of our card. And again, we're just going to do a fine line of glue all around the edge. And I stay in off the edges a little bit so it doesn't ooze out. And it'll be a small border going around. And the good thing about the liquid glue, it gives you time to move it if you need to move it to reposition. Alright, so here's our second card, hello, and happy birthday on the inside. So that's card number 2. And then we have, let's see, we've got a little time here. Hoping everybody's not in too much of a hurry. This one might take a little time because we've got to do some die cutting. If so, you can come back and watch the replay. And this is our card that we're making. It's kind of a fun fold. It's got the scalloped edge, and then here's the inside. And it says anything is possible, and we're using the hand-penned petals, the sunny sentiments, and then we've got the basic border dies, and also Stitched So Sweety Dies that we're using. So I'll show you as we go what I'm doing. But I hope you'll be able to stay. If not, catch the replay. So let me clear up some things here because I had that ribbon there. Didn't see it sitting there. Okay, so let's get started. Here's our scrap of white, basic white that we're going to be stamping on. Here's a scrap of the Just Jade. Or no, that's Soft Succulent. And then we've got a piece of Designer Series paper, which comes from the Hand-Penned Designer Series paper. These are double-sided 12 by 12 sheets. And here's the back side of it, which I like the back side too. So we're using these two, or this one. There's the front side and there's the back side. I started getting a little bit of frog in my throat. Okay, so what we're starting out with is the card base, which measures 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and then it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2. I didn't write down the instructions on this one, so we're gonna have to kind of wing it. Okay, like I said, it's scored in the middle at 5.5. So let's burnish the edge of that. And our mat measures, our designer series paper measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 inches. So to start with, we're going to be using our cut and emboss machine. And we're using a larger one, so this is the big boy, or the mama. And let's see, I guess you're kind of showing in the camera. But what we're going to do is we're going to open our card base, and this is going to be the way it's going to go. And I'm just going to match them up at the end because we're going to cut it off both the same. So I want to take my tape and I want to stick that on there to keep it in place. And this is just some washi tape that I don't use. Alright, and now we're going to use the basic border dies. And we're going to use the zigzaggy one, which is this one. You want to make sure you got your cutting blades going the right direction. So we're just going to place that at the bottom. And I think I'll bring in some more washi tape to hold this down in place so they don't move. I'm glad everybody's able to join, or to be able to stay and watch me do this last card, because it is pretty cool, I think. I'm liking these border dies. It kind of adds a little extra to your cards that we didn't have before. Alright, tape, you're supposed to stick down there. It's not sticking, I guess it's wore out. Let me get another one. And if you should have to leave, you can always go back to the replay and catch up where you left off at. Alright, so we're going to take our plate. This is our number 3 plate. We've got our number 1, which is the base. And then we've got another plate that is a number 2. And then we've got 2 number 3s, which are the cutting plates. So we're just going to run that through. I'm going to do this kind of awkwardly, so it might take me a bit. It moved on me. Let's bring this back out here. Why isn't my tape sticking on that side? I'm glad I caught that. Let me redo. Back up the bus here. For some reason, it's not sticking down for me right. Maybe my washi tape is getting bad or something. I don't know. It should stick. Maybe a bigger piece. I don't want you moving on me. Stay in place. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, now it's staying where it's supposed to. I have a weak shoulder. I had shoulder surgery a year ago, so I still don't have the strength back in my shoulders, so I had to kind of go off camera there for a minute. Alright, set the big girl over there. And okay, so we're going to take all of our tape off of here. We'll save that to use again. You want to pull it off gently so you don't rip your paper. Okay, so here we've got, it didn't cut all the way through. I should have. There, we got the one piece. And we're going to save that because we're going to put that on the inside. Okay, it cut. I didn't think it did. Well, I think I might run it back through. It didn't cut all the way. Okay, let's do this again. We're going to run it through real quick here. I'm just going to put it off camera here and do it. I'm going to stand up so I can get a good view. And make sure that my cutting blade's going the right direction. Alright, things around here. Now we should have it good. Yes, there, that's better. And we got that little piece. You could probably use that for something too if you wanted to, the negative. Alright. So, we're going to take this and we're going to glue it down. So let's get our card going here first. We can always do that at the end. Okay, like you see, we've got a good edge on there. It matches the same edge on the cardstock. So now we're going to kind of raise it up a little bit. So we're going to have to cut off a little bit off the edge. So I'm going to get my paper cutter here. And we're just going to snip off probably like 1/8 of an inch. And then we're going to attach that to the front of our card. Put some glue on there. The edge going all around. Hi, Jackie. Yeah, we're just doing our last card here, but it's going to take a little bit. So our stamps that we're using is the sentiment and the flower, which I didn't get out, so let me get that. And get a bigger block here, there we go. And I'm just going to stamp the flower using the black Memento ink. Alright, so there we go with the outline. And we don't need to color this because we've got stamps that will fill the color in, and I didn't mount those yet, so I need to do that. So this one, and this one. Let's see, kind of measure, get the right sizes here. And then our leaves. also need our sentiment. Okay, I think I've got everything out that I need. I just need some stamps. There's some acrylic blocks here. I'm going to snitch some blocks off of these other ones. I'm going to get my fingers and ink on this one. Alright, and we'll change these as we go. Alright, so we're going to use the pale papaya, soft succulent, and I'm not using the pinks. We're just going to do the pale papaya and the soft succulent are the inks that we're using. So we're going to take the larger of the flowers and we're going to place it over this. It won't match exactly. It's kind of the watercolor effect is what we're going for. And I'm thinking that's all on that one. And that's all the pale papaya. Now we're going to switch to the soft succulent. And I'm going to do these little flowers using that. And also the leaves. I'm going to get my fingers in ink here, but that's okay. And thinking that's the smaller one. Let me bring in my Simply Chamois. Well, that's good, Jackie. You got a few minutes left for your lunch time. Hope you're having a good day. And we'll do the rest of our leaves with the smaller one. Trim the paper. There we go. Alright, so we've got those taken care of. Get my stamps out of the way here. And now we're going to come back in with Anything is Possible. And we're going to use just the black memento with that. Anything is possible. And we're just going to put that, stamp it in our corner because we're going to die cut that. Oops, that's not very good. I may have to re-ink my stamp pad. There, that's better. And of course I'm using the photopolymer stamp, so I should have used my cushion underneath that, but I didn't. I'm pushing my luck here. Alright, so now we're going to do some more die cutting. Let me get my border die out of there so I don't lose it. One more thing to stamp yet, I forgot. We're using the sentiment that comes out of the sunny sentiments, this one. And I'm using this one here, which says, thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. And we're going to use the black memento ink again. I've got a hair on there. Probably mine. I think I shed like a dog sometimes. We're going to ink that up with our black memento really good. And then we're going to kind of stamp it in the middle because we want to keep a border enough to cut it out with this die. Okay. Alright, now we bring our Mama Boss back over here and put her to work again. Alright, so there's our bottom plate, there's our top plate. Well, I was hoping I could fit all these on here at the same time, but I don't think, well, yeah I can, okay. We're in luck. So we're going to take our die, we're going to die cut our sentiment using this one. And I think I'm going to put a little tape to hold that in place. Some washi tape. Just so it doesn't move on me. And then I've got the die for the Hand-Penned Petals, which is the Pen Flowers dies. And I like this too because it's got a nice little scallop edge die in there. I kind of throw that in as an added bonus, I think. And I'm going to get out the die that I need. Is it this one? Yes. And I'm going to use my washi tape again to hold that in place so it doesn't move. And I'm just trying to get it lined up here. We've got the same amount of white border going around it. And maybe another one on this corner. And then I'm going to use my Stitched So Sweety Dies. And I'm just going to cut out the white one first and come back in with the other cardstock to do the background of that with a larger one. Another piece of washi tape here to hold that in place. Okay, so let's run that through Mama Boss here. We got a baby boss and we got a Mama Boss. So I've kind of named them that. Alright. And then you just set those aside because we're going to die cut the soft succulent die out. Those. And then let me go ahead and die cut that, and we'll get things out of the way here. And I don't need to tape that, should be fine. Yeah, I usually try to keep my videos to an hour, but we're going over a bit today, so I'm hoping that is okay with everybody. I know I don't like to keep you too long because it is lunchtime. I don't want nobody passing out or nothing from hunger. But maybe have snacks. Alright, so here's our sentiment die cut. Here's our flower die cut. And our sentiment die cut. So I'm going to go ahead and push these aside. And we're going to attach our sentiment die to our matte die cut one. Alright. And we're going to put that up on dimensionals. These are some of the dimensionals that came in the paper pumpkins. I've been using mine up as extras. They're the same as our original ones, but they're a little bit different color, I think. And get my take your pick tool, pop those puppies off. And we're going to place that in the upper left corner. And we're also going to put our flower up on dimensionals. And I'll put a few on here to help support it. So maybe one there. And we're going to take our soft succulent sheer ribbon and we're going to cut off a piece. Did I cut that off yet? No, I didn't do that ahead of time. So we're just going to cut off enough to kind of run it underneath the flower. So I'm not really measuring, I'm just kind of laying it down and figure out where I want it to be. And I'm going to cut that at an angle also. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Seal and we're going to put a few lines of that to hold it down. Probably a couple. And let me refold this again. And kind of want it to be spread out a little bit. Make sure I'm finding where the glue is. Okay. Oops, and that one's not sticking. There it is. Okay, now we're going to take off our backings to our dimensionals off our flower. Yeah. And decide which direction you want to put it. I think I'm going to put it right there. I had my other one up a little bit higher, but I think I like this one lower. Alright, so there's our front of our card. We need to add some gems to that, so we're going to bring back our 2021 to 2023 in color jewels, and we're going to put some jewels down on this thing. So deciding what colors I want to use, I might go with the darker green. And use the putty side of my take your pick tool. And I'm going to start out with a small one. I'm going to put one right on our sentiment. And then I think I'm going to use a couple of larger ones. I'm going to put one in the center of that flower. And where else do I want the other one? Maybe the center of this flower would be good. Alright, so there's that. Let's see. Oops, I keep wanting to turn it around because I had to with my other camera, so this one I'm leaving to learn. So we're going to take this sentiment, we're going to just glue that to the inside of our card. And my glue is wanting to gob up or something. Might be because I'm sitting with the cap off of it so long. And we're going to place that on the upper center. And then we're going to take that one little strip here, and we're going to place that down at the bottom. So I'm going to put some glue on that. And this is going to be stuck to the inside of the card, along the edge of the border there. Okay, keep my fingers out of it. And it's easy if you keep the card closed, and then you can line it up better. And I might have to come back in and trim off the edge, but we'll see what that looks like. Let me get this open. There we go. And press it down all the way. No, I think it's good. Alright, so am I missing anything? I think I've got everything on there. You don't want to see my work area right now. It's a disaster, everything in the way. So here's our third and final card. And I think I'm going to bring some Winkle and put on those flowers also. Kind of bling it up a little bit. Can never have too much bling, I say. Us girls like a lot of bling. Okay. I'm just doing the flowers, the pie of flowers. Alright, so anything is possible. Thought you could use some sunny thoughts today. So that's our third and final card. So let me bring out all of our cards here. Okay. Well, thank you, Becky. I'm glad you stayed and were able to watch all the way through. Okay, so here's our first card, our second card, and our third card. So let me make sure that I got a good view of all those. No, let me scooch just a tiny bit here. That should do it. So I'm glad you enjoyed the cards today. Like I said, I won't be here next Monday, but I'll be here the following Monday, which would be, let me see my calendar. Oops, I'm dropping things on the floor. It would be July 12th. So I'll be back July 12th at 11 a.m. Central Time. So I'm hoping that you'll be able to come back and see what we're going to be doing. I usually always do 3 cards, but sometimes I throw in a 3D project to do. So just wait and see. And I usually announce it ahead of time what I'm going to be doing. So I'm glad that you enjoyed the cards today and you're able to come and join me. And be sure that you like and share the video. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure that you hit that subscribe button that's right below us. And that way you'll be notified when I upload new videos. And also, besides subscribing, also like the video. That brings up my viewership, so I'd appreciate that. But I'm going to let you go today. You all have a safe and wonderful 4th of July holiday. And everybody say, I can't talk today, stay safe and stay healthy. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye.